Do you hear that?
Bird Box.
All right, so obviously we're going to be talking about Bird Box today. Yeah, we've actually gotten a few requests for this one, which is kind of funny because it wasn't something we were originally planning on talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't even on my radar until someone at work, you know who you are, told me about it, and he shared his opinion, and his opinion really piqued my interest in not the best ways. So
this will be an interesting one for sure. The whole premise of the movie in general was an interesting premise. Like, if you were to just tell me what it was about, I would say, I think I want to watch that. Now, actually watching it unfold was just generic.
Yeah, it's predictable. It's very much, if you've seen the masterpiece that is The Happening, it's not. It's actually a hilariously awful movie. I can't help but think of this year's Quiet Place. Yeah. Basically, I like to say there's story A and then there's story B.
Yeah.
Story B takes place strictly on a river. I wish the whole movie was just this. It was Sandra Bullock's character with these two kids trying to survive on this river. Mm-hmm. And it was simple and it was interesting, but then they go back and make us realize, oh, there's a story A, which is your standard post-apocalyptic storyline.
Flashbacks are not a bad thing.
No.
They can really help us understand what is going on better and really dig deeper into a character. But in this case, we had literally two different stories happening at the same time. And I didn't feel like they did that much for each other.
No, they did
We learned absolutely nothing about Sandra Bullock's character. And in the flashbacks, I wish that's what we got.
We quote-unquote learned things about Sandra Bullock's character in these flashbacks, which I'm calling story A. There wasn't enough to make me feel the tension that was in story B. Because the thing with Bird Box, for me, I know people are saying it's terrifying. I didn't, my heart wasn't racing at all. I wasn't on the edge of my seat because I knew what was going to happen. Especially everything that happened in what's, I guess, the modern day when the creatures or whatever first invade and people start killing themselves. It's like we get the most generic plot beats. Needless to say, we both weren't fans of the story. It was average. It was predictable. It was meh.
So what is your score?
I want to hear yours first.
Okay, I know. So for the story, I gave it a 5.
All right. For story, I gave it a 6. So for technical, nothing really impressed me. The structure of it, the way it was edited, the way it was shot was generic. That's the thing. There isn't much to even say because to me they didn't present much to really like.
So I think I can kind of tell where your mind is at in this. And for me, while I agree with everything that he just said, I still think it was a well-made movie all around. And I mean that with a grain of salt. Like, it's not the best. And
they shot it and they framed it and they...
Yeah. And it still looked fine. Okay? There was nothing technically bad, but it wasn't good.
So, I will say... The river sequence, which I just wish the whole movie was that. That was shot fine. Like when they're on, like it looked nice. But even when they're in like the climactic rapids, it looked fake. I was like, this is in a studio. I don't know. I just didn't buy it. I don't have any other words. It's just generic.
Okay, can you just go like this?
So, I'm giving technical a 6 out of 10. Again, I don't think it's, like, bad enough to get, like, a solid F, but I don't think it's good enough to get a solid C. So, 6 out of 10, a solid D.
Well, it's your lucky day, because I also gave it a 6.
Oh, okay.
To me, there's really only one character that even matters in this story, and that's Mallory. But even with Mallory, I didn't really connect with her, and I didn't really feel anything towards her. Honestly, it didn't really matter to me if she died or not, which is a pretty big deal in a post-apocalyptic story.
Yeah. I didn't care about anyone. Yeah, Mallory was the only one, but even then, like, I think it was just because, like, well, I guess she's the main character, so I should root for her, but I just didn't care. That's the trend. I just didn't care. I will say the characters in the story A that are all in the house annoy the heck out of me. They're the most stereotypical, generic. Sorry, I was revealing my scores.
I wasn't looking.
Okay. But they're the most just generic post-apocalyptic characters you can think of. Is there anything?
I just feel like they didn't put a whole lot of thought to the characters, especially boy and girl. I'm like, dude, all right.
Characters, I give a 5 out of 10.
I also give a 5 out of 10.
Look at us. Oh, what? Okay, let's see where this goes.
I'm being a critic today. I mean, again, what it really comes down to is Sandra Bullock's performance.
Yeah.
And I do like Sandra Bullock as an actress. I think that she was fine in the movie. I don't think it was outstanding, but I don't think it was terrible. Everybody else was not that great.
I will say performances are probably going to be my highest score, because there are scenes Sandra Bullock is actually, I think, like, good. And some of the kids are good in some of the scenes.
Kids were so cute.
They're cute, yeah, but there were some scenes where they're like, they're good, like, they're fine, but...
Alright, I think I'm still grading pretty hard then.
Yeah, but hey, I said this is my best score, but it may not be great. Because it's like, in moments, the acting and the performances are fine, but outside of that, it's like, I don't know, the equivalent of, like, unseasoned food, where it's just there.
What?
Where it's just there, and you don't really care about it.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
I don't know. Let me know makes sense to you.
I'm trying to explain that
he's
the movie's
never
bland.
used that analogy with me.
Nope.
Ever.
It's bland. I'm trying to say it's just bland. I'm giving performances a 6.5 out of 10.
That's what you meant by the best score?
Yeah, because it's true. It is the best score.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, you know, I think, honestly, I do think I did have it at a 6.5 yesterday when I initially wrote my notes, and then I kind of started thinking about it more, and I gave it a 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Mine was a 6, and then I was like, well, Sandra Bullock had some good scenes, and so it deserved a 0.5 increase.
Okay. I'm mean today.
The only reason why I'm going to want to rewatch this is to try to understand what all the fuss is about.
Okay, so the reason I won't watch it again is because I don't understand what all the fuss is about. So we're kind of on opposite terms here. I said in my notes, I will not rewatch this again unless someone, maybe a year, 2 years, 3 years from now is like, hey, remember that movie Bird Box?
And then you'll say...
Wanna watch it?
And then that's when you'll say, Bird Box, because it's forgettable.
Like, when it comes down to it, it's a mediocre movie, okay?
Yes.
I don't understand the hype, but I also don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
It's definitely not The Happening, but it's definitely not A Quiet Place. It's like, what's your score? I want to hear yours before I tell you more.
Okay, I want to tell you the reason I gave it this score is because I felt like I couldn't... There was a part of me that really wanted to give it, like, the worst thing ever. But I didn't feel like I could do that because I would rewatch it if somebody, you know, wanted to forever from now. So my score is a 4.
My score is a 4!
What?
My score out of 50 is a 27.5. What's yours?
Mine was a 26.
Dang.
My score was lower than his. We collectively gave it a 53.5 out of 100. Well, friends, it's happening. You're giving us requests.
Keep doing that. We appreciate it.
Even on the movies that we are not crazy about. But you know what? We need that. So
yes,
please keep requesting things. And if you're not already subscribed, I don't know why.
Like it if you like it.
Gucci.
Bird Box!